Good afternoon, YouTube world. This is Do-Rag Steve Billionaire. I just like to play around, do the different characters, but it's all in one. Y'all should already know that. So it's been a minute since I've done Billionaird Sports Rap. Like I've been saying, I'ma always change the scenery, give y'all aesthetics. So today, I'm in where it's always good to be, in the park, where it all started. So as you can see, I'll go slow, nice little backdrop, nice little courts. Let me give y'all like a 360 view before I get started. It's a beautiful park, actually. I'm actually across the street. Some videos ago, I did it by the lake. I did a video and that was pretty cool. Y'all need to go check that out. And those aesthetics was good. And that video was called From the Projects to Peace. And that was Do-Rag Steve. But see a dad practicing with his son. And that's what this video is going to be about. And that's why I decided to come to the park, because a lot of times as parents, and this is where it starts, when our kids want to play sports, or we get them into sports to keep them busy so they won't be running around the house and tearing things up. But pretty much this is where it all starts. And some of this is getting kind of lost today. Nothing wrong with video games, and I used to play video games, and man, that has gone to such levels where people are making millions of dollars and making 6 to 7 figures playing video games. That's crazy. I should have stayed playing. But anyway, let me take a seat and let's start this Billionaird Sports Rap. You'll hear a little background, but it's gonna be moving a little bit, but I'll try to stay steady. So I wanted to show, because in the park you see a lot of parents with their kids, teaching them, whether it's baseball or basketball or whatever sports, soccer, tennis. They also have tennis courts here. But my point is, as a parent and as a dad or a mom, you put the time into your kids and you want them to strive and be the best, and hopefully it motivates them to focus and build their confidence and start working on a certain thing to become better at it through practice, through discipline, through dedication, to perfect your craft. So this Billionaird Sports Rap, today's topic is, and I'll name the people I'm gonna be talking about. LeBron James, his son Bronny James, and Stephen A. Smith. And by the way, congrats Stephen A. Smith, 5 years, 100 million, man. From what you said, it took a while. I guess there was a lot of negotiations going on, but you got that bag. That's a pretty big bag for someone that talks sports every day. That's a beautiful thing. But in respect to Stephen A., he was a journalist at first. He worked his way up. A lot of people disrespect Stephen A. Smith, but I respect him because of his dedication and his hard work. And at the end of the day, even though he's doing, his show, which is still #1 from what I understand, First Take, and these things, he is a journalist first. So he always gonna have that in his spirit and in his work from that point of view. So let's get right to it. And I'm gonna give you my thoughts about LeBron. Basically, so what happened earlier this week, I guess it was during the timeout or during the break of the Lakers New York Knicks game, LeBron comes straight up to Stephen A. and basically says to him, "Don't be talking about my effing son. This is the last time. Don't be talking about him," in a negative way, honestly. So Stephen A., listened to him, and from what it looked like, he didn't want to make a scene, and he just listened to what Bron said, and then Bron said what he said and walked away. So the first thing is, as a parent and as a dad, I'm sure, and I'm gonna speak in defense for this one thing, for LeBron, in regards to being a dad and a parent. Of course, you're gonna be sensitive to anybody being critical of your kids or saying anything that you may deem as negative or putting them down or just, putting a highlight on them in a not so positive way. So I agree with Stephen A because he spoke about it. Bron came to him not as the basketball player, but as a dad. So I can understand that, and as parents, I'm sure we all can understand you taking up for your kid and defending your kid. But let's talk about what's the truth and what's reality and what it really is. So, Bronny is not in AAU. Bronny is not in high school. Even if he was in high school, he's not in a league, park league or anything like that. He is now in the NBA, which is the professional. He's now a professional. With that, especially now in the media, there's now going to come criticism, good and not so good. We know the backstory. People are going to say, and I agree with it, that it was nepotism. That's why Bronny was able to sort of quote unquote skip steps and get drafted by the Lakers, and even was able to play for the Lakers first game, which was great, beautiful. I mean, only time we really seen that being done, so to speak, was Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. playing together, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a dream, I'm sure. Bron, he always spoke about it, and it was a moment for their family, and it came true. But as a former basketball player and knowing the politics of basketball and seeing, I've seen players that are very good that never get an opportunity or chance to play in the NBA, or even if they did, they weren't kept there for long, for whatever reasons, right? Bronny, we know, has what they call privilege. There have been people I've talked about and discussed, and they have said nah, that's not fair, that's not wrong. But in this society, especially in America, we have seen throughout history how many people, and I would have to come out and say, to Rex D speaking, that are of the lighter skin or white, that has had privilege, that has brought in their families, their relatives, and so on and so forth, even their friends, to be in positions that they may or may not have had all the skill sets or the experience, or should have gotten that opportunity. Whereas there are others that have had the experience, that have the skill set, that should have gotten that opportunity for whatever it is, whether it's sports, jobs, whatever position, right? So in the end, just speaking on that front, we know Bronny is not ready to play in the NBA. I think it's good that he's in the G League. I think he needs to continue being in the G League. I wish the best for him because I don't know the Jameses personally, anything like that, but from what it looks like and from him, he seems a really good kid. He seems a dedicated kid. He seems a focused young man, And we know the enormous pressure he must have to let alone try to live up to his dad's legacy, which, he may or may not do, and it doesn't matter, but just the pressure of being LeBron's James' son. I'm sure there's a lot that definitely comes with that. So we have to allow him, and this is my opinion, I think he does have a shot. I think I can see the skill set, and as long as you have the work ethic. And I was talking to some friends, I talked in the chat with a couple friends of mine, the fact that he's around NBA players, he's been around his dad all his life, and he's playing against NBA players not only during practice on the Lakers team, but through the G League, where it's veterans, where it's players that have been there for years trying to, make it in the league or, playing within that league. He is getting experience. He's getting the work and the skills that he needs to possibly make the NBA. He's actually in the best position being in the G League right now. So we have to remember, he played at SC for really 1 year. You know, of course, he had the heart condition, a situation that happened to him. And he needs more experience. That's just the bottom line. So, again, I don't doubt he's not going to put in the work. His dad, obviously, is LeBron James. So he's watched him and seen the work that has to be put in order to be not only successful, but to be a professional in the NBA, to become maybe a star. And then there's levels to becoming a superstar and becoming great. We don't know what the future of Bronny James will be. I think that he has a real good shot of making the league and playing. And even if that's it, and if he doesn't become a superstar, I think it's still okay, because it's only 400 players that play in the NBA, and that's throughout the world as far as anybody that's good enough to play in the NBA. So he has a real opportunity to do that. Obviously, he has the privilege and the things set up for him to succeed. Now it's just up to him. So that's my take as far as the skill set and all that. So now let's talk about Bron and what he did. Again, I understand you're a dad and you want to do that, but as our kids get older, we have to allow them to learn. We have to allow them to go through the adversities or go through whatever it is that they have to go through, because that's going to build their character. That's going to make them grow. That's going to make them stronger. So let's bring up something that happened to Bron early in his career in the past, back when he was with Cleveland. And it's going to tie into what happened between him and Stephen A. So LeBron got into an altercation. I think it was the Spurs, against the Spurs or one of those teams. And a couple of players, they started mixing it up. His mother was on the front court, had front court seats. She jumped up. It was behind the basket when this happened. I think LeBron got fouled hard. He got upset. And, a couple of players came up and got in his face. His mom jumped on the court and started, pointing her fingers and is talking. And because as a parent, again, you're going to always be a protector of your son, whether you're a dad or even especially a mom. What did Bron do? Bron went to his mom, told her to get back to her seat, and I'm pretty sure he was like, "Mom, I don't need you." He probably felt, some type of way, because he's like, my mom jumping, trying to defend me and take, and have my back. That's I'm sure he appreciated it, but at the end of the day, he's a grown-ass man, and he probably was like, "Mom, I don't need you doing this. I can take, I can fend for myself. I got this. Thank you." So Bron understands, and see, it happened to him in a different way, but it did happen to him, where he didn't want his mom basically speaking up or defending him, because he felt like, I can take care of myself. Now, what does Bronny think of that situation and what happened? I'm pretty sure Bronny may have spoken to his dad at this point by now. I said, like, "Dad, I don't need you taking up for me or defending me. I'm a professional now. I have to have my way, learn my own way. Thank you for doing that, but I don't need you, defending me and going up to journalists or going up to Stephen A. to tell him not to talk about me." I'm pretty sure he says the way to silence them, and I'm sure LeBron would agree with this, to silence anybody, because people gonna go through adversity. I have to bring up my guy, Jalen Hurts. A great person to talk to. As much adversity he went throughout his career since college, being benched in the national championship, having to endure that, then coming back the next year and waiting his turn and getting back once Tua, which was the quarterback there, took over his position, became the starter, and came back, and he was put in because Tua wasn't playing well. And then the reverse happened, and then he got in, came back and won the game. Then we know eventually he transferred from Alabama to Oklahoma, and then he did his thing there. And then, the adversity he's gone through in the NFL. And guess what? Now he's a Super Bowl champion. I just had to say that. Fly, Eagles, fly. But anyway, going back to Bronny, you have to learn, and you're going to have to develop thick skin and keep the haters, keep the critics all out your head, and you prove them wrong through your work and through your actions and through your skills. So I say all this to say that on hindsight, LeBron is going to have to just take a back seat like us parents. Once our kids get grown, they're going to make their decisions. They're going to do what they're going to do. All we can do as parents or as elders, give good advice. But at the end of the day, it's like they're going to have to figure it out themselves too. They're going to have to fall, and they're going to have to learn to get up, and they're going to have to learn how to maneuver and go through this life. Even with me as a parent, had to do it with my daughter. At some point, I had to say, like, look, I gave her all the wisdom, I gave her all the advice, I gave her the things that she needed. Now it's up to her, and despite she may make some mistakes or make some decisions I may or may not be happy with, but I have to understand that this is her life, and she's gonna have to lead it, and she's gonna have to learn. And all we have to do as parents, and Bron as well, is support them. And that's the biggest thing that you can do as a parent. It is tough, I'm pretty sure. LeBron being LeBron James, all the media, all the spotlight, he's dealt with it since high school. He's done I can't even recall anybody else probably that's done a better job than him as far as being exemplary on the court and even off the court. With his family life, he hasn't gotten in any trouble, he's never been arrested, none of those things. He's at this point has done, as they say, quote unquote, everything the right way. Now he just got to allow his son to figure it out and do what he has to do, and just speak to him and say, listen, there's gonna be critics, gonna be haters, you should know this more than anybody. I can tell you, I dealt with this since coming out of high school, being touted as one of the best or going to be the best. So all you have to do is prove them wrong by doing the work. And that's all he really had to say. But I do understand he was a dad, and that was a moment, and he obviously had to get that off his chest. As Stephen A. said, his agent Rich Paul and the other dude Maverick, and those, they have his number. Bron could have called him. Maybe Bron just wanted to do it that way for publicity or whatever, or to show the public how he felt. And I'm sure that's what it was, because in that sense, Stephen A. was right. If it was something that he really was bothered with, or he didn't like what Stephen A. said, he could have called Stephen A. up. Or he said, man, I need to talk to you face to face, man to man. And, Stephen A. said he would have did that. Now, would he? I don't know. I don't know Stephen A. like that. But at the end of the day, it could have been handled better. But I understand both sides is what I'm saying. But I will leave with this last note. I wish the best for Bronny, and I think that he just has to put in the work and just, keep getting an experience. And when you get your shot and opportunity, because you're going to get those opportunities because your dad is LeBron James and the Lake organization, and you got JJ Redick, which also is in alliance with LeBron. And he's going to get his opportunities to be able to shine, and he just has to keep working and being prepared and being ready. And when his number's called, then he just has to perform. And if he does that, then as he keeps performing and he shows everybody that he belongs, then the haters will get silent, the critics will get silent, and then they'll be talking about something else. So that's just my advice. But I want to hear your comments. If y'all have any comments, I want to hear your takes. I definitely want to hear it because it's a pretty interesting subject. And for those that are parents that have had kids that played sports, or not even, just you being a parent and having kids and understanding on Bron being a dad and, you know, speaking up and defending his son. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think he did the right thing by doing it that way? Or he should have did it another way, like I was saying, you know, call Stephen A up and talk private? Or what are your thoughts? I would love to hear it. So any comments, please hit me on this particular video, because I would definitely want to hear it, and we could talk, and we could definitely comment about it. But that's it for this Billionaire Sports Rap. I would just say right quick, the Lakers are playing very well. Just to talk about the NBA right quick. Lakers is playing very well, although they got caught in smoke last night by the Celtics. The Celtics, man, they just, and just talking about them right quick, Boston has been playing together for, I would say, maybe the 4 to 5 years at this point. So they have chemistry. They've already won a championship. They know how to play together. They endured. They went through the losses. They went through the controversy. They went through all those things. So I mean, I see them as the team to beat. As much as I don't like Boston, people that know me know I don't like Boston. I'm a Sixer fan. As far as my Sixers, they need the tank. I'm glad they sat Embiid down. PG probably needs to sit down as well. Just shut it down for the season, and we need to reset and start over. I don't know the future of Embiid. I'll talk about that in a future video. But yeah, he needs to shut down. But the Lakers, despite the loss last night, Luka has been a fine addition to them. Bron is loving it. Bron is looking like, and you know, this is for the OGs that watch the Showtime Lakers, he looking like worthy, you know, and Luka's looking like magic, throwing 40, 50 court passes, and Bron just hitting it and catching it and, you know, dunking and driving. So I thought, because it could be, they both ball dominant, I thought it would be a little issue, but Bron, again, and I said this in a past video, I felt like he would embrace, he's definitely going to embrace Luka, and he don't mind not having the ball. I think he's loving the fact that Luka can just handle the ball. It gives him rest, it gives him more energy, and he can just pick and choose his spots. Because when you become older, you know what to do as far as how you want to play and how you adjust. And that's the one thing you can say about Bron. Whatever you like, hate, whatever, his high IQ is very high, always has been, and he knows how to adjust and play the game, as he would say, the right way. So that's it. It's starting to heat up. The playoffs is around the corner. I'll be talking about that in a future video on Billionaire Sports Rap. But thank you so much for watching. If you watched this video through its entirety, thank you so much, because the more y'all watch my videos from start to finish, the more my views go up and my watch hours go up. So the goal is to become in partnership with YouTube, and I'm not going to give up and stop until it happens. Everything's going well. My numbers are steady increasing. Thank you all for the subscribers that subscribed, the new subscribers that have just subscribed. Welcome. I hope you enjoy my content. Hopefully you love all my different content. I got Billionaire Sports Rap. I got the Old Man Walk series where I talk about health, not only for older people, but for younger people. The reason why I started that was because I think a lot of times, especially in this society, as you get older, it becomes sort of a disrespect, or it becomes like you being put out the pasture, and you're not. You're just now more wise, more seasoned, and now it's about taking care of yourself. And for younger people, just being prepared, because you want to get to older in our age, because that's a great thing to become. And then I have Do-Rag Steve, which is random. He tells the truth. He's unfiltered. He tells it like it is, depending on what subject it is. And then you have me, Steve Billionaire, that I'm a poet. I do spoken word. It's my art, and I'm doing a video book series of my motivational quotes. I just dropped one on Sunday talking about pain, which is really good as far as internal pain and things that may have happened to you in your life. that you have to know and understand and recognize and take the steps in hopes to heal. But that's it. So I do a lot of different things. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying this. I just hope you all are enjoying. Please spread the word. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Subscribe, watch my videos. And if you support me, I'm going to definitely give y'all the best content that I can give you. But thank you so much, Billionaird Sports Rap. I hope y'all like the aesthetics. I'm in the park today. I'm going to keep always changing it up and, and changing up the visuals and hopefully giving y'all great content. Thank you so much for watching. Steve Billionaire, Billionaird Sports Rap. We out.